Now, let me ask you this. Do you remember your dreams when you wake? Some do, some don't. Some recall images, feelings, or whole scenes. Others awaken empty-handed, clutching at memories just out of reach. Do you, dear listener, recall your dreams, or most hold only fleeting views, a whisper of meaning or a moment's understanding? Yet there are those rare enough to change a life. And so it was with the whispering that led to the Battle of Fallen Echoes. It began in complete stillness, no war cry, no drumbeat, just a whisper that crossed the valley like smoke, heard only by those whose blood ran deep through the roots of the land. One word, never spoken aloud before, carried on the wind into sleeping camps, sharpening instincts before swords. A lone elder awoke first, eyes wide, hand trembling over a scar he received decades earlier. "It's speaking again," he said, his voice rough with disuse. But no one understood what it was. Nothing had come in the night. The sky was still and the air was calm. Yet the very earth seemed to sigh, and a chill snaked into bone and soul. So the warriors remained vigilant and confused until the sun climbed high and still no messenger had arrived. No warning had been issued, no envoy had crossed the divide, and yet something old awoke within them. An echo locked in their bones, compelling them to the cliffside where they stood all night. Then, like mist-given form, the other tribe emerged from the swirling haze, walking silently across the dukest plain. They weren't enemies. They hadn't been seen in generations. Yet there was no joy in greeting, no celebration in reunion. For neither side could understand why they stood together in silence. All knew instinctively that this wasn't a meeting for peace. But since no cries of aggression were raised, no blood spilled that dawn, the reason for their gathering remained unknown, hidden in the whispers of the wind. As the sky dimmed without a cloud, the sun bent strangely through the haze. The earth groaned. And then it came again, that whisper. But this time it wasn't carried by air. It came from beneath, from the soil, from the stone. And those who heard it felt their legs move before thought returned. Spears raised, shields locked, they charged. They met in the middle of the plain, 2 against 2, 4 against 4, until warriors from both sides stood locked in pairs, which knew their opponent's moves as if they were one. Every strike reflected, every motion mirrored. They fought without rage, without hate, without fear. It was as if 2 reflections collided in a timeless ritual. But through it all, no cries rang out, no shouts echoed, no pain was voiced. There was only the whisper, urging them on, guiding their steps. It pushed them to test strength and skill, to awaken something long dormant, stirring the blood of their ancestors, rousing instincts honed over millennia. Yet even as the dust rose in a silent storm around them, one small figure stepped between them. A child, barefoot, hair tangled, holding only a feather, walked calmly through the chaos. Blades snapped aside as if parting for a god. The warriors halted, their stances broken, their gazes drawn to the boy. He walked past them, untouched, unharmed, and placed the feather atop a nearby stone. Then he looked up at the sky, still shrouded in mist, and shouted, "Why?" The feather trembled, then burst into bloom, unfolding in a riot of color. It unfurled, becoming a banner against the gray, drawing the sun upward, ripping open the clouds, bathing the world in light. And in that moment, the boy cried, "Do you not hear?" Then looking at the warriors, he whispered, "Do you not understand?" The earth rumbled, the mountains echoed, and the whisper became a voice, thundering across chests, shaking hearts but not heard by ears. Spears fell from nerveless hands. Shields clattered to the ground. Swords melted into the soft earth, vanishing like tears. Kneeling, the boy reached out and touched the stone. It rumbled, split, and blossomed. A tree shot skyward, flowers bursting forth, reaching for the newly unveiled sun. The warriors watched, entranced, as life exploded around them, painting the gray landscape in colors unknown to their memory. Birds sang. Unseen insects hummed. Warm winds caressed the skin, chasing away lingering chills. Flowers bloomed in vibrant hues, carpeting the ground in exotic patterns. And when the boy finally looked down, the warriors saw not a child, but a man cloaked in sunlight. His eyes pools of starlight, his hair ablaze with celestial fire, his skin aglow with unearthly luminescence. His gaze held galaxies, and his smile promised rebirth. He looked at the assembled warriors, his eyes filled with sadness, and spoke. His voice echoing the song of creation, "You have forgotten." Then he turned back to the newborn tree and continued, "You have forgotten who you are, why you are here." He placed his hand on the tree's trunk, and it responded by blossoming in an instant, unfurling leaves, blooming flowers, ripening fruit. The man drew back his hand and gestured to the surrounding life. "This is our home, this is our purpose. This is our gift." He raised his head towards the sun-filled sky, and his voice boomed, resonating with the heartbeat of the earth. "We are the caretakers of this world. We are the children of this soil. We are the keepers of balance." His gaze swept over the awestruck faces of the warriors, and he spoke softly, "But we cannot be what we were meant to be while we are divided, while we forget our songs, our stories, and our purpose. As long as we are fragmented, the roots will wither." His voice grew stronger, shaking the very foundations of the mountain. "We must stand together. We must walk together. Only then can we hope to fulfill our destiny." The warriors, humbled and ashamed, looked at the blossoming world around them, realizing the truth in his words. They had strayed from their path, forgotten their purpose. And as the man turned to leave, the elders stepped forward. They bowed their heads in respect and asked, "What should we do?" The man paused, then turned back, his eyes filled with hope. "Remember," he said, "remember who you are, why you are here, and the song you are meant to sing. Remember, and you shall find your way back to each other. Remember, and you shall rediscover your true strength. Remember, and the roots will flourish once more." With that, he vanished, leaving behind the echo of his words and the vibrant testament of his presence. The warriors watched him go, each pondering the depth of his message. And as the years passed, the memory of his words became the bedrock of their existence. They held fast to his words, remembering and passing on the tale of the man who walked between worlds. Each year they gathered at the foot of the reborn tree, sharing stories, reaffirming bonds, and honoring the forgotten path. Their battles ceased, replaced by festivals of unity. Their weapons traded for tools, crafting beauty instead of destruction. And so it was that the whisper that had threatened became the song that healed, reminding them that sometimes the quietest warnings can shake the earth, and the faintest voices can echo through the ages.